Yeah.
long time.
Uh,
We are recording, by the way, so you've jumped.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
see something pop up on your screen.
What are you telling me, bro? How's life been treating you?
good, bro. Good, yeah. On the rise, isn't it? How have you been? Long time no see.
Okay.
Let's do a quick intro and then we'll quickly jump into it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yo, people, it's your boy CJXY.
Come on, you already know. Teacups dead there. And this is the GDS podcast.
You already know the girl them sugar, get that schmoolah, the grind don't stop. We are
Come
here.
on.
We are here with the star boy at the moment. He is the star of the Irish scene and he is absolutely killing it right about now. He's got, after the success of the comics tape, which we had him on here talking about it with a few of the people that was on it as well. Shout out Macca as well, fan favorite. People want to see more of Macca, so we're gonna try. We have to get him back on, but no, definitely, man, for sure. It's your boy Bernard M, and yeah, man, he's live with us now.
I appreciate that intro, bro. It's sick. No, just been grinding away, isn't it? Since comics, I've just been put the head down and really trying to get it. That's it.
Yeah. See, you always posting on Insta.
Yeah, you have to, don't you? Like, you have to just stay active all the time, man. That's the only way. Consistency is key. Definitely, I learned that from comics.
Yeah.
So you could have rested on your laurels. You could have rested. I thought to myself, you're gonna take a break. I thought, yeah, he's gonna give us all a break because you put your foot on our neck, boy. You really put your foot on our neck this year. Especially like the Irish scene is small in it, and comparisons fly quick. And yeah, when you said here, I'm going again with another single after comics, I was like, yeah, this guy's working is insane. I don't know how I'm gonna keep up.
There's a lot. There's so much coming. Like, it's unbelievable. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, listen. Actually, you're in the studio more than me. I didn't think there was someone that would be in the studio more than me.
Yeah, I literally lived there.
Yeah, like every time. Sometimes I'm at work, yeah, and I'm like, gotta go to the studio later. And then I look on your Snapchat, you're at the studio. I'm like, this guy's killing me. But, you know, it's healthy competition. I've always said to people, me and T-Cops always talk about it. Healthy competition. It's about making sure that the whole scene rises. And yeah.
That's what it's always been about, man. That's what it's always been about. This scene grown, and ever since it's grown and grown and grown. Even since the last time I've been on this podcast, there's been a user rushing in a lot of people's work. Like, there's a lot of great things happening in the Irish scene at the minute.
Yeah. Now you're on track, because I remember you did say in January you'll start your next project. So it's Jan now, New Year's, and you just stuck on track. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things that came out. I think I released like eight singles this year, and that's including comics. Or last year, sorry, 2021.
Yeah,
I released comics and then 8 singles, so it was a lot. Like, for the first.
You had a crazy year.
Yeah.
I see, like, just from your Instagram and from your stuff like that, you've been working a lot with Slick Bullet.
Yeah, Slick's me, bro. Slick and Twitch.
Yeah, I see you've been working with them hardcore. What's it like working with them on the new stuff? Like, because the new stuff is coming out. Like we said, we've had Smoke and Mirrors, which absolutely one of my. It's not your tip. It's like not what we're used to hearing from you, but it was so cold. I was so impressed with it.
It's just like a different vibe. It's just a different thing. It's something to just. It's just like a step back from everything else as well. Like, at the same time, like, I liked it. I'm glad you liked it, bro.
Giving us that summer feeling in winter, keeping us warm.
Listen, and honestly,
I like that, man.
Honestly, listen, that Bambi song. Listen, listen, I'm a garage head. These lot will tell you I'm a garage head. When it comes to garage and house, that's my thing. And when I heard the first song, I think I messaged you, and I was like, "Yo, this sounds cold." And I was like, "Okay," but it has to be done right. I'm overly harsh when it comes to people that do like garage and house.
Yeah.
More so than rap, because as much as like I love rap music and all the rest of it, I think garage music was my first love. Like, it was the first thing I heard, and kind of wanted to get involved in, and then you dropped Moving, and I was like, okay. And it's strange because you don't usually get that sound from people outside of London, because as much as rap is kind of global, garage is a real London sound.
Yeah,
Like it's
it is. It
a real
is.
London sound. So what inspired you to do that, man? Talk to us. What was that about?
I just came across this producer, Cabo Beats. His name is Annie Vibe on YouTube, and every single
Shout out Cabby Beats as well. Shout out Cabby
yeah,
Beats.
shout out Cabo Beats. But every single beat that I listen to, man, I'll just write straight away, and I can't stop. It's like a train. So every time I'm listening to Cabo Beats, like it's I'm always on waiting for his beats to come on, because the first time I listened to it, Bambi just happened literally so quick. I got all the lyrics down, and I was like, oh shit, I'm really liking this song, and also I kind of like developed it proper. And I don't know, I just fell in love with the garage thing. It's funny that you say that as well, because there's I have a couple of things coming up. It's really soon, like not my next project. My next project is a single that's coming out. I put up a snip on my Instagram yesterday on in Slick Bullets in the studio. That's my next single that's coming out. And then after that, I have like a little project, but you're gonna really like it. It's tipping along the lines of those things. Bambi will be on that project.
Yeah, well, listen, that
Hey,
I think we're thoroughly impressed. But let's step away from you personally now, and let's move on to the scene, man. So a lot has happened in the scene recently. Gonna just a bit of social commentary, man, as we do. T Cobbs, have you heard of Cello?
Of course, yeah.
Cello.
Been around him a bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I've been trying to put the boys on. Obviously, I've got one foot in England and London, and I've got one foot in Ireland.
You're the
So
player.
I'm trying to bridge the gap. Remember when we was on the way we was in the car, right?
Yeah,
And I played
yeah,
that
yeah, I
Dublin
remember.
song.
When we were going to South, Southampton.
Yeah. So we were
Yeah.
going to Southampton, and I played the boys Dublin in it.
Yeah, that's a track, man. I like that song.
Oh, bro.
Heavy.
Listen, how we didn't get into an accident, only God knows.
Yeah, in the car, so it was mad.
Bro, listen, like I said, I think that song Dublin. You see how Londoners talk about talking the hardest by gigs.
Yeah.
I think that's how they're gonna talk about Dublin. When it's like when the scene is like fully at its peak, and like people are making serious dough. I think people are gonna look
Dublin's
back at Dublin,
it is,
and people are gonna be like, "That's the national anthem. That's the tune."
Yeah, it literally is.
It's a big statement, you know. It's here.
It's a big statement, but it's one of them songs that just go like it's in there at the top of one of my playlists as well. So like it has to be.
Did you see him perform live? Were you on the bill when he performed live?
Yeah, actually, I performed with him at Dubzino's in the Button Factory.
And how was that? What was that experience like?
That was an unreal experience. That was a deadly experience. That was actually that was my first time performing as myself. Like I was always I was in bands and stuff as a kid and growing up, and I did like performances and stuff. But that was my first ever time getting onto the stage, and it was the best feeling in the world, man. It was actually, I know for a fact that I'm meant to be there. Like it's actually crazy. Like, and for Dubzino to give me that opportunity, I want to give him a major shout out, and to all the lads at over there, that his managers, everybody, like a mad shout out, because it was an unreal, like the people that were there performing, like we had like Eskimo Supreme was there, Cello was there, there was loads of people that was there. It's unbelievable.
It looked unreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, there's loads of questions I want to pick your brain about in terms of the Irish scene. I think we'll start with like the obvious, which is like the biggest thing to break kind of from the Irish scene, which is Irish drill.
Yeah.
At the moment, you've got A92 absolutely shut it down with their freestyles, and I think Officers doing crazy numbers on Link Up. You've got Ink, who's obviously at like every drill documentary I've seen in 2021.
He's on there, isn't it?
Ink is on the documentary talking. I was like, bro, like that's mad. And then obviously
they should do a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah. Bro, it's like, bro, hey, Tico, when I mean, yeah, like you'll just be on YouTube, yeah, and it'll be like the randomest like drill like commentary, yeah. They'll be like, oh, like drill from around the world, and then you just see ink just randomly talking in it. Like, oh, how did you link up? Like, where did the link come from? And then you got AV9, and those boys doing their thing. So, what do you think? What's your thoughts on drill in terms of drill as a genre, drill in Ireland, the whole shebang?
Well, there's not a lot of Irish artists that actually do drill, like, because drill is like misinterpreted a lot, I think, in Ireland. Like, people would often say like the meaning and things like that, you know, like those beats, they're like drill, but I wouldn't look at the meaning as a drill song. It's a rap with kind of a drill, a melodic drill beat. Like, there's a difference, like, to rapping on a drill beat, you know what I'm saying? So, like, as far as like drillers, there's not a lot of them. Like, you have, obviously, like you say, like Ink and A92 and Africa, like, they do drill and like they talk drill, do you know, that kind of way?
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of just rapping on drill beats. So, like, it's a difference. So if people are gonna drill, then just drill. Like, but don't I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm doing drill, I'm doing this, but when you're not, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not encouraging people to do drill if they're not into it.
Because the crime rate should just go up.
Don't do that.
We don't do, listen, there's no anything, this is not going to end up like the Molly May situation. Nothing will be taken out of context on this. Nothing will be taken out of context.
I can't make any promises, bro.
Bro, listen, if we ain't been cancelled yet, then you're fine. Don't worry about it. If we've survived, you'll survive. But so the big conversation in T-Cobs, and you've probably seen it as well, is the accent conversation. The accent conversation is rife.
It's still going on.
It's funny it's funny to say that, but remember that the Scouts guy that's literally just blown from Black Box Freestyle. Yeah. And the reason, like, his accent benefited him on that beat because it sounded different and unique, and it was good. So I think the accent thing it's a hurdle, but at the same time it can be your advantage. Because that's an example of like someone that's from Scouts, Liverpool, that doesn't sound like a Londoner. So when he came on, it's like he caught everyone's attention and he just killed it. Like, so I think the accent thing will be. It's a matter of time, to be fair. It just needs one person. So I reckon, like, from now on, there'll be other Scouts rappers coming through now because he's got the platform. He's signed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So depends how you look at it. It swayed me a bit. Yeah.
Before you give your input, I just want to say something as well. I feel the same as T-Cobs, but I'm gonna speak on the other side of people, especially from the Irish scene, right? So a lot of people from the Irish scene are slightly annoyed at the fact that the people who were the sort of, who maybe, they didn't, I definitely won't say they blew the Irish scene, but the people who made the most noise this year, which was A92, I think numbers-wise, I think if we're just talking pure metrics, A92 had the
they got like 40 something million on
the freestyle alone, and then Officer got the Bluebird freestyle, which got like 100K on its first day on Link Up. So, like I say, numbers-wise, they're doing big numbers, but people are maybe resentful, maybe annoyed that they're not like your accent is thick. Like, no matter what you rap on, you know that you're from Ireland. Like, there's two ways about it.
Yeah.
But their accent isn't as strong when they rap, and it comes across as maybe they sound slightly English. And people find that.
You know, to be honest with you, and this is being real, I don't actually listen heavily to A92 or Africa, and I haven't really got into them too well. Like, I've listened to a couple of things here and there, but I've never really dug into it. Like, I've seen that freestyle on the Plugged In. I've seen, like, obviously Oggy with him and Cello. I've seen bits. I haven't really dug in and dived into actually what they sound like, but coming along the lines of using that English accent, like, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter anymore. The conversation still goes on, and you can let them people just, like, let people that want to use the English accent, like, out of context, do it, because they probably won't go that far, do you know that kind of way?
Yeah. So you think it's like a whole, you think instead of what they want to use it for is like forwarding them instead of, but you think you'll hold them back?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like, because obviously, like you're saying, Africa and things like that have like the English accent, but they're doing numbers as well. So you could say, I don't know, that'd be using it for their advantage then, isn't it? Because they have more numbers.
Yeah,
I see what you mean, like a personal thing. It's like it's working for
But
them.
that elevates their music, though. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
So like sometimes it can elevate your music, but at the same time, it's just like you got to be original to who you are. Like always stay original. But if that's originally who they are, well then it's art at the end of the day, isn't it? It's all in the eye of the beholder. I keep saying to myself lately, and it's so true.
yeah.
Everything's in the eye of the beholder.
T-Cobbs, any recent music you've been bumping at the minute that you wanna bring to the forefront, man? Talk to us. Tell us all, man.
Oh boy, I've been in I'm a piano scene now, man. Literally.
Is it?
It just got forced upon my ears when I was in Ghana. So Do
you
you know
have you
what?
been
I was
listening?
listening to it, but it's just been proper. But I would say the tune I've been listening to a lot now is Joe Boy, Sip My Alcohol. Listen to it. You like it.
I've heard it. I told you, man. I'm plugged in, man. I'm a
Plugged
man
in,
of the
yeah?
world. Listen, I'm a foreigner.
Local.
I'm a foreigner. That's where no matter where I am, I'm a foreigner, man. I have that
Yeah.
feeling, and like I just try to soak up culture. What are you? Would you listen to Afrobeats, Bernard? What's your sort of take on Afrobeats, Afro swing?
I'm
Yeah.
not really a mad fan. Not that I'm not a fan. I like it, but I wouldn't know any like in particular. Do you get me?
I think you enjoy Piano. It's like an Afrobeat sound.
It's Afro house, said it. It's like an Afro
Yeah,
house type.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
house,
house
yeah.
music, but with like Afro drums and
Yeah,
like
twist to
Afro
it.
Yeah, I definitely
instruments.
listen to Afro music. I definitely hear it all the time. Like I hear it all the time. Like I like it, but I wouldn't be able to like name a song off me top of my head or anything. Like,
Nah, listen,
Yeah.
I think Dublin this year, I think there's a lot of artists who are on the spectrum, like I say, who make kind of African inspired music. What's the girl that I was listening to recently? What's her name?
Do you think it's because of there's I heard there's a good Nigerian population like in Ireland, like in Dublin.
In Dublin especially, yeah, there's loads of like African, there's like a big connection and stuff like that. Like the cultures, Nigerian culture and Irish culture is quite similar, so it's a nice blend. Obviously you've got like, especially now in the scene as well, you've got people like Dubzino and like Bernard and loads of people like that who are like unapologetically Irish. Do you know what I mean, in terms of how they are? And then you've got people like Officer, Debo, who are of African descent. Cello, especially. Cello is someone who's spoken about his African descent and how that's kind of shaped his music.
yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. Like that could have an effect on the accent thing as well. Like, do you know that kind of way? The African descent thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they could have like a period where there's like 3-4 sounds just dominant in one go? Because remember in 2014, 2015, London had like 4 different sounds that was like hot at the same time. Because you had the Afro swing, you had grime, and then you had rap, and then you had drill, all literally hot at the same time.
I think that's the same here right now. I think it's like
like
kind of like wavy music, dance music,
exactly,
grill, and kind of just movie music. Do you know that kind of way?
So it's kind of like whichever one you want, you just pick, you just jump on it.
That's it. In Dublin at the minute, I think that's definitely what's popping off. Like dance music is number one always.
Dance music is number one in the world. In the world, people want music that they can two-step to, man. That's the way of the world.
That's just the way it is. Especially nowadays, like people just want to move.
Listen, edit. We've been inside for so fucking long. It's time to get outside and shake a leg.
Too long.
You know, T-Cobbs, this is the truth, yeah. I ain't shaking a leg since my wedding.
No way.
I drunk and shaking a leg since my wedding.
You're coming London anyways.
Yeah, I'm coming London end of the month.
Congratulations, by the way, bro, as well, actually. On here, I'll say it. I said it when you got
it's
that was my
man. It's it's not. Has it changed my life?
No.
No, not really. If I'm being honest,
He said it.
it changed my life. Like it's a big thing. People say it's a big thing, but me and my wife have been living together
You've been together, yeah.
We've been living together. We've been together for 6 years and living together for 5 of them 6 years.
So you're already married.
We have 2 kids together, joint accounts, everything comes out in both of our names. So has our life changed? No, but it's nice. It's that commitment, and we've made like the official commitment to each other, like forever and ever and ever. Like if you ever try and leave me, I'll strangle you now.
You know what? Yeah, this is.
But what's the dating life like, Bernard? Talk to us, man. What's the dating life like now?
Yeah, I'm with my girlfriend now 7 years, bro.
7 years.
7 years.
7
I'm trying to be like you, man. 6
No,
years,
you're
7
not.
years.
Because it makes me feel safe.
AK, what's yours?
He's not trying to be like us.
I'm trying. I just have bad luck. That's the problem.
Who has bad
You're
luck?
just
They have bad luck.
vibes.
The ladies who
Bernard,
who
listen,
have been
don't
carrying
listen to them.
sitcoms, they have bad luck.
Listen, I went back home to find love. I couldn't. I'm back again.
You went back home and you was in the nightclub looking for love. No, you was looking
I was in church as well in that restaurant.
This guy was pouring Hennessy into girls' mouths looking for love. Get out my face, man. Get out my face.
That's crazy. I don't know what love that is. That's crazy.
Whoa. That's all part of the process.
That's love.
Pure fetch.
But 7 years, man. How does that? This is a good question, actually, and as content creators as well, I think the 3 people that are in long-term relationships can answer this. Do you feel being in a relationship affects how you interact with people, like on social media and stuff, or the content you create?
I don't know, bro. Like,
you must have listened. You're the star boy at the moment. You definitely had DM slides. 100%.
You must have hit your DM.
100%. He's got about 4 DM slides right now.
Yes. He just hasn't opened it.
You know that little request section with like the mad people trying to sell you crypto and that.
Yeah, he's waiting. After this, he's gonna open them.
No. I think most of the people know they know I'm in a relationship. They know I'm in a relationship 7 years. That's just how it is, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I don't think it's affected me. It definitely hasn't affected me music, because my music has just come from me, and that's just who I am. Like, maybe if I wasn't in a relationship for 7 years, I'd be a different person, but I don't know if I wouldn't like that person. Do you know that kind of way? So
yeah,
I think it all happened for the better. Like, I think the music is shaped what it is, but I don't know, like posting and interacting with people in real life, I don't think there's much of a difference. Like, I do less of it because I want to spend more time with her. Do you know what I mean? That's
I think in real life it don't change. Like, NK, you could probably speak on this as well. In real life it doesn't change, because in real life you're kind of viewing it, but online definitely more wary about interacting with, especially with females, like on a working level, especially, because all it takes is one comment, one sideways comment, and then boom, you're in Shade Barrow. And that's the beginning. That's the beginning, middle, and end of it, where divorce. And you man are all right. You man ain't legally tied. I'm legally tied with kids. If she leaves me,
I said he's gonna go homeless.
If she leaves me, my music turns
taking
down.
half.
I'm gonna start doing.
She's taking half your music, bro.
Yeah,
half your music.
She's taking the XY in his name. Just be like, yep.
She's taking XY with her. That's funny.
She'll take the J and the Y. So I'll just be CX.
You see my ex.
That's funny, bro.
She'll be like, bro, Julia, that's not even your name anymore. Let me give you that. And all the masters. But what about you, NK? I know probably in real life you're probably the same person. But in terms of interacting with people on social, even how you talk on here, do you feel like sometimes you're maybe like, I can't be like, I maybe not I shouldn't say certain things, because obviously I've got a this is NK will chop your head off.
Bruv. If I was speaking frankly,
That even turned the whole phone upside down.
all I have to make sure is that my employer doesn't see this. My girl understands. This is time with the guys. If she wants to watch it, it's at her own peril. There should be a disclaimer at the front. Under 18s and girlfriends. If you don't want to hear stuff you don't want to hear, don't go any further.
The relationship advice ones have got me in trouble, you know. You see when we were talking about like toxic stuff, yeah, and I was talking about my old toxic waves, like obviously before I was CJXY, when I was C Reality, if you might remember those days.
Yeah.
The old school days. That used to be my rap name, you know, Bernard. And when I was outside, I made a song here, and this is the God's honest truth, and there's gonna be people that listen to this podcast that are gonna be heartbroken by this statement, but fuck it, innit? I don't care. I made a song, yeah. I made a cover to Wonderwall by Oasis, innit? I swear to God, yeah. And I told about 18 girls on BBM that song was about them. I swear to God.
Look at that.
That's
18 innocent people.
Oh, remember?
You're a serial offender.
I have to find that cover, bro.
Bro.
Listen, on SoundCloud somewhere, bro.
Listen, I think it is. It's out and about. It's in the atmosphere. It's definitely on Spotify somewhere. I don't know where.
Someone pull it up in 2030.
Oh my days!
They're going to cancel you.
If they want to cancel me, that's fine. If they can't cancel me in real life, innit? They can't. So, like in real life, like that's a good thing. Talk about cancel culture. Do you like? Are you scared of it, Bernard?
No, not really. Look up. I don't know.
You're pretty above board guy though. Like you're pretty like. I never see you doing nothing wild. I never see a Snapchat from Bernard like throwing like a Hennessy bottle at someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay. I wouldn't like. I don't know. I wouldn't post it to social media, but
have you ever like? I'm sure you've got like a lads group chat in it. Like the lads are all talking in the group chat, and listen, we've got a group chat, and thank God that.
Right now, we're talking about Stevie Wonder, bro. Right now, we're talking about Stevie Wonder. If that leaks, I'll say
that live in my chest. I say that. Listen, forget about all the conspiracy theories, COVID, 5G, all the rest of them. They're all cute. The real conspiracy theory that the government don't want us to talk about is the fact that Stevie Wonder is really not blind. And that's a fact. This brother is not blind. There's too many stories about him not being blind.
I'm not a part of this.
Why would he not be blind? Why would he be lying?
Why would he like, bro? Think about that.
Just leave him to stand on his own.
Listen. Let me tell you something, yeah. How many singers are there in the world? Like, how many like singers are there?
Too many.
Millions, right? And Stevie Wonder is he's a talented individual, yeah. But to break through in the market, especially at that time, would have been tough. So what gives him the edge?
He decided what gives him the edge? To be blind.
Bro, because the
blueprint was Slumdog Millionaire, bro. Man City's been riding this wave for a minute.
Bro, think about it like this, yeah. The blueprint was there. Ray Charles blew up. Man was singing, hit the road, Jack, blind. Remember, Ray Charles was really, really blind. Like, they took off his glasses. Like, he was in Jim Crow days. He was in Mississippi and they made him take his glasses and stick. They were finished with him. Stevie Wonder was like, yeah, look how much money he made. Like from a time where artists weren't really making a lot of money. He's like, he was blind, he was playing the piano. Bro, now, but the thing is, is that he knew, and now that technology is kind of getting a bit more like, oh, okay, all these stories are coming out. When was the last time you see Stevie Wonder?
Everyone stay quiet and just let him keep digging himself in this hole.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm loving it.
I'll tell you, this is the truth. Listen, I've said this everywhere I go, and it's one of the hills that I'll die on. Like, it's actually one of the hills that I'm willing to die on. Is that
okay, listen to this, right? If Stevie Wonder could see himself playing the harmonica, he would never have done it again. He would never have done it again. Bruv, halfway through a song, bruv, man's pulling out the harmonica. Ridiculous, bruv. I'm singing Happy Birthday, And man, pulling out a harmonica. Come on, man. You would never do that. You
Bro,
would never do that, man.
listen, I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying, how can he catch a basketball? How can a blind man catch a basketball? If you blindfolded me right now and then you threw a basketball at me, it would clap off my head like one time, bam. Because how would I,
Wow.
like, unless I'm Daredevil, I can't catch it. How did he catch a basketball?
I mean,
When did he catch a basketball?
At a basketball
Yeah,
game. So he didn't even know the basketball was coming at him. Why was he even at the basketball game? Furthermore, he's at
The basketball
What are
game.
you trying to
Audio
What are
do?
you doing
description.
there? He's sitting
Audio
courtside.
descriptions, man.
He's
Yeah,
sitting
he can't
courtside.
listen to
Getting
them.
audio description. He could have got that at his house.
Just hearing the ball
but
bouncing.
he still wants to go, innit?
He just wanted.
Man's listening like, ooh,
he wanted
that
to
was a
hear the
three.
vibe.
I'm sure of it.
DJ, do you know what? I just hope when you're getting your record deal, he's not there with one of the
Imagine I signed for Sony. Imagine
Sony, and then
Sony has blackballed me because
he just
I've been
starts
talking
playing what
shit.
you were saying. And yeah. I
I'd
can
love
imagine you
it.
trying to put on
I'll
another
say it to his face
accent.
though. I would say it to his face. Or I just change my name. I'll just go back to See Reality. See Reality will just make a comeback. I mean, like, I don't know who
Bruv,
this CJ.
I heard his ex-wives were cold, bro. I heard his
He's
ex-wives were
got
sexy.
Bedinas. I'm not even like
Mm.
no joke. He's got Bedinas. But he's
Mm.
got bare kids.
Yeah.
Never seen none of them.
What?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, that is you're being
Jesus
rude now.
Christ.
Come on, I said
Allegedly.
never seen none of them.
No, but he hasn't though. He
Bro,
hasn't.
stop it.
But listen,
If you can clap cheeks in pitch dark, you can do it while you're blind still.
yeah, true. That's true. That is a fair point actually. But anyway, we'll move away from Stevie because Stevie's consumed too
This
much
is
of my life.
getting
He's consumed too much of my life recently. What was I gonna say? Bernard, what other music? So outside of, actually, no, this is a good question. We asked you this before, and you kind of was like, but this time it's just you. So I'm gonna press you. 5 artists, 2020. This is we're at the start of the year, so we need 5 artists that are gonna, other than yourself, right? That are gonna have a break. That are gonna have like a big year.
There's more than 5 artists. Oh,
There's more than 5, but you find the 5 top artists. Like when we come back, and there's gonna be like a.
Who'd you
top
put your
10,
money on?
Like these people are gonna have big years.
that aren't that. Right. So 5 people that are gonna have a big year, not including myself.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah.
No, I think you're.
I'm
Talk
sure
shit,
you're gonna
bro. Talk
laugh
your
like
shit,
that,
bro.
but no,
Listen.
seriously. Not including myself though. It's a hard one, man. Like obviously I have Slick Bullet, Twitch. I think Cello, obviously. Trying to think. As in from what I'm seeing on the scene
Yeah.
and on Instagram and everything going along, like probably not like as what I'm seeing, like I don't know who I'm seeing a lot of Scripters doing some things lately. Have you
Scripter's
seen that?
getting crazy this year. That's someone that you need to check out. Scripter.
Yeah, definitely.
Shabba put me onto him. Leon put me onto him, and when they did their 8-bar flow, and then he just dropped 6 years, didn't it?
Yeah, he did 6 years on mixtape on this cracker.
So yeah, that's a good shout.
And then I
Twitch,
thought about the last one, Craig Cooney. I'll give it to, man. Craig Cooney. I knew I had to think about it. I thought about Craig Cooney and then I forgot. I was trying to think of the last one. I was like, who was I thinking about? That's definitely one I'm missing. But there's way more people than that, man. There's way more people that's gonna have such a big year. Do you know what I mean? I could name a few.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's people. I think the scene into total, in terms of the Irish scene, is going to have a big year in general, anyway. But it's just about, like I said, there's a few faces.
Yeah.
Your honourable shout out.
An honourable shout out.
Like
Definitely.
honourable mentions that didn't make your top 5, but you wanna, if you maybe had a few more, you could have maybe said.
Well, there's a few. that's gonna do well in the scene. Obviously, I have like what am I thinking of? Simba.
Simba's gonna have a big year. I'd have had him in my top 5.
Yeah, definitely. He's a really good lyricist, like really good. Macca Rhymes, of course.
Big Macca, the fans' favorite.
Yeah,
listen.
definitely. I've been talking to him recently, and he's still popping away. So I don't know what I can say, but
no. If he's got stuff in the pack, he's working, innit?
Definitely, yeah, he's working. There's loads of people, like, do you know what I mean? I could name loads, to be honest, like Dubzino, obviously.
I don't think Dubzino can count as having a breakout year. I think his breakout.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a few I could name, but they're already broken out. Like, I'm thinking, like,
yeah, I don't know.
Larkin, I think he'll probably have a breakout year as well. Actually, yeah.
Who?
He already kind of did. Larkin, I don't know if you heard. You did, didn't it? But he was in show as well, Dubzino show. Do you know he done the dash? It's on.
Yeah. No, I've heard of him. I think I've got him on the playlist actually. So
yeah. There's a few. There's a lot of people that are gonna do great things.
But yeah, man. What in terms of what's your outside influence? So stepping away from Ireland for a second. Any artists from London or further afield that maybe you look to for kind of inspiration?
I don't know. Definitely, look, at the minute, I'm fucking with French the Kid, definitely. French the Kid.
French the Kid, yeah.
Phil was a naughty track.
I'm liking a few of D Block Europe's things. The hooks are real catchy. I like them. There's a few more, like RD obviously is bouncing about. There's a few more that I'm listening to. Definitely. I'm still listening to Stormzy though. I don't know what. I think Stormzy. I went back into a Stormzy phase there a couple of months ago again. And I was just like, shit, like Stormzy was fucking mad.
You know what? Yeah. So this is me and my brother were having this conversation in it. So my brother's from South London, from Croydon specifically, right? So my thing is this year, and this is not a diss at Stormzy or anything like that. This is just I don't feel like Stormzy's music. I think Stormzy's music is impactful when it drops, but in terms of replay, I think there's songs that are impactful when they drop, but they're for the moment. And then I think there's songs that have loads of replay value.
Yeah, true. You don't hear Monty Wop or nothing anymore. Like, and it's only
I feel like Stormzy is super impactful. Like if he dropped today, we're talking number ones. Like even if he just said he put out like a tweet, like someone from his team put out a tweet saying Stormzy drops tomorrow, he goes number one. Like, do you know what I mean? Easily.
Yeah.
But would you down the line, like I'll ask, like obviously you said you were listening to him recently. T-Cobbs and NK, when was the last time you put on a Stormzy song?
I've never put on a Stormzy song. I can't lie to you. And it's not because I don't like him. I do like him. I've just never been in that particular mood. Not since like sixth form, not for a couple of years, to be honest with you.
I think
you're right. I've been listening to him since he dropped his last album, innit? Like, I think what was the last thing he done? Like, he did this.
Not Gang Signs. Was it GSAP? Was GSAP his last project?
No, I think Gang Signs is his last project, like album wise.
Yeah, that's GSAP is Gang Signs. Gang Signs and Pros. GSAP.
That's his last,
But
he doesn't drop like that though. He moves
Kendrick.
like a very established artist, like the J. Cole's, Kendricks, the Ed Sheerans and stuff. Like they drop a project, and then it does well. They do the tour, like, and then they just go away for a bit and then come back
with another project.
Yeah. So I understand what you mean by replay, but yeah, he's with those artists that are like they drop a project and it's like everyone listens to it, everyone takes it in. They tour the whole, like they do a lot of tours with it. So then whilst they're touring, in your head, you feel like, oh, okay, he's gone now, but he's just touring. Do you get what I mean? Like when he was touring in Australia and stuff, like us in the UK, we're just like, okay, Stormzy's gone. Yeah,
Because that's
that's the
actually
thing.
funny. It's funny you say that because
Yeah.
then my brother was saying that people, so outside of Croydon, right, in terms of
Yeah,
us as English people are spoiled with Stormzy,
yeah, we are.
but in terms of other places in the world, even as close as Ireland, don't get the likes of Stormzy that often. So they replay his music, whereas
Yeah.
like we get well, I don't even, not me anymore, but you lot
A
get a
lot of
lot of
people that rap
Stormzy.
kind of similar to him, like, is it?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
like we get a
exactly.
lot of music. Like I was thinking about how many people actually in London, just per se, drop. Like in terms of how many artists at the moment are kind of just dropping like
It's
regular.
true, you know. That's a good point because a lot of London artists do a lot of EPs and then albums and EPs and albums. We're spoiled when like someone like Stormzy does a project album and then decides to tour the world because it's not just the London or the UK that listens to him. Because even Skepta, like people said he's gone missing for years, but he's just touring the
Bro, he's
rest of the
doing
world
big
because his
business
music
moves,
is
man.
international.
He's,
Yeah.
he's,
All
he's,
right,
he's
okay.
bringing out
Let's
alcohol, bro. He's doing a
before we
lot, bro.
talk about
Come on.
like business ventures and stuff, I've got a question, and this is for everyone. So we're gonna go around everyone. No one's allowed to duck the question. So it's one. So one artist globally that had your artist of 2021. So the person who for you musically, like all over, it could be as big as Kendrick Lamar or as small as anyone. Like
21 was a long year, bro.
yeah, like I said, it felt long, but
Yeah.
I want to know who you thought had the
Can we
year.
do
Like you know,
three?
like no, because I want it to be one, and this is the reason why. Because I also want you to say an artist who dropped this year, who maybe you were slightly disappointed with
Oh, okay.
for whatever reason. Like it can be like I said, like I said, it's as famous or as big. I'll I will maybe start first, so people can understand sort of where my thinking is, and then you lot can maybe say. I think actually I'll let you have two for the artist of the year, right?
Okay.
So my two artists of the year, the artist that had 2021 for me, is
Probably say my
Gets.
one. Yeah.
Gets had in terms of an album rollout. We've in this country, we've never seen an album rollout like that. He was number one in so many different countries, and the fact that he didn't get number one in the UK is a shame, but he still got number two. The guy drove a tank down Oxford Street.
Yeah, through Central.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like in the
Glad to say that.
comparison, it's like imagine someone driving a tank through like the middle of Dublin, like at the busiest time as well, like Saturday, 3 o'clock. There's just a guy driving a tank rolling out his music. Do you know what I mean? Like it's absolutely mad.
That's major.
And then on top of that, then he got to do the stage shows as well just before lockdown. He did the last show at the O2.
Yeah.
The O2 Academy absolutely turned it on its head. One of the best shows that year. And then another person, so maybe a bit further afield, who had a great year as well, 2021, Jadakiss. Now I don't know if you lot was in lockdown when you lot was keeping up with like the verses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I'm outside. Always.
Bro, Jadakiss, let me tell you something. I'm a Locks fan, innit? Like I'm an old school Locks fan. My dad, listen, if you go in my dad's car right now, yeah, and you press play, I can almost guarantee Styles P or Jadakiss will play. That's the kind of music.
After that,
100%.
I had to bang that freestyle, you know.
Bro, Jadakiss, let me say something, yeah. I've been a Jadakiss fan for a long time, and I do believe he's top 5 dead or alive in terms of rappers especially from the US. But you see that versus battle there? I think I watched it. No. Listen, go back and listen to Jadakiss. Anyone that if we're talking, like I say, we're spoiled because we have a lot of music now. But I'm talking about he's been one of the hardest since the 90s, bro. And we're in 20. We're talking about him potentially being one of the artists of 2021. That's 30 years. there's longevity, and then there's 30 years, bro. 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be near the top, in and around the top. Do you know what I mean?
True.
But yeah, so that's my 2 for the top. And then my artist that, and this is gonna surprise you lot, who I feel like maybe I wanted more from, or I was disappointed with their project, was Skepta.
Yeah.
I
Guy,
feel like
you just want to annoy me. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to annoy me.
no. All right. So T-Coms, right?
How?
Did you heard his last project? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. You heard the project before, didn't you?
of course.
So the project before, when he had the song with Nave and
Now the project
bullet
before was
from a-
better.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a
from
bullet from a gun, it burns. I thought to myself,
when you realize
we-
it was never your girl, it's just your turn.
bro, we moved out of like experimental Skepta, which I was down with, but like I said, there was some songs that hit and miss,
But it worked,
was
though.
experimenting. There was a lot of experiment, and it worked in terms of marketability and stuff like that. It worked. But then we kind of got old school Skepta back with that, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this next project is gonna be crazy. And I just feel like it didn't. It was like
Yeah,
the only way I can
guys, he's
describe
just
it,
trying
yeah.
to piss me off. That's what he's trying to do.
No, bro, it's like starting
Yeah,
the car,
that's
yeah,
okay.
and you can hear the car, you can hear like the engine wants to flip in it. It's like, and then it just
See?
don't do it.
Don't talk about Skepta like that.
I
Especially
know
when I'm in Tottenham right now. Really, I can knock on his door, you know.
No, you couldn't. You live in Waste, man.
I can knock on his door, bro. I'll tell
Skepta's
him.
not even in Tottenham. I guarantee you, Skepta's not even live in Tottenham.
Listen, I'm gonna go Meridian right
And a
now.
label.
So, Bernard, as you're the guest, we'll let you go next.
Oh, bro, I don't have a clue what to say. I mean, like, I already gave the answer, but French the Kid definitely has won me over this year. I think he's one of the top for me.
Big year, very, very big year.
His mixtape madness. Oh,
Yeah, he's mad. Like, really is, and the melodies as well. Like, he just everything.
yeah, the way.
So well, and then the French.
Yeah, bro,
it's wavy.
I didn't expect it. You know, when I first heard it, obviously his name's French the Kid, so I was like, but maybe like I don't know, maybe French meant something else. Or I didn't expect him to just come out like in fluent French. Like it's not like part French or broken French. It's fluent.
Yeah.
I'm not one for stereotypes, but he doesn't look French to me.
No, he's English.
His
I know,
story.
but,
English. He's
his
from
story.
Romford, isn't it?
Yeah, he's from Romford, and you know what his story is, isn't it? He was bad, and his mum sent him
Yeah.
to France, where he learned even more badness.
Madness, yeah.
So- But yeah, no, like French, that's a good shout. He had a very good year, very, very good year. What was one artist, Bernard, that you heard this year? Like I said, it can be as big as anyone that you maybe were slightly disappointed with.
I don't know if I was disappointed with.
This is from you as a fan, not you as an artist.
Yeah, like as in an album or a project, a single. Or...
Whatever, like something like I say, as a fan, I'm a fan of Skepta.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed with his project.
You are not a fan of Skepta. I'm a fan of Skepta.
You're a stan. You are a stan.
Listen, Skepta. Everything Skepta touches is gold.
Oh, come on.
How CJ feels about Harry Maguire is how Tony feels about Skepta.
No, we're not gonna do that. What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna do that.
I know what he's saying. We're not doing that.
We're not gonna do that. That is not what we're doing.
Finish.
No. I'm trying to look through my Spotify to try and see, like, but I wouldn't. If I didn't like the thing, I wouldn't have it on my Spotify. So I don't know.
I'm trying to think who maybe.
Like maybe actually, like a big inspirational one is like growing up was Ed Sheeran, definitely. And this year, I think his project didn't hit for me. Like, to be honest, as a fan of Ed Sheeran. Like I still like his music and I love his stuff that he released. I think it's good music, but as far as it goes for like that authentic Ed Sheeran sound that everyone loves, like it's not there. Like, it's not the same as what it used to be. So like it's a little bit different. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's all.
It's a valid opinion. I think, like I say, I think in terms of artists, or anyone who makes content, you're in the court of public opinion. So
yeah,
I think if you, I think even if Ed Sheeran was here and you said that to him, I don't think he'd be massively offended by that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
he'll
it's not really something
guitar.
to get offended. It's not really the same as his old music. Do you get me? Like
You were a fan of the
kinda-
older stuff, and now
Yeah.
the newer stuff isn't the same.
Yeah. So when it came out, I was like,
Listen, I'm a fan of old and new, man.
But no, that's a good shout. Ed Sheeran's a good shout. What did you think of his collab with on the song Peru?
Hi boy.
I listened to it. He done his thing.
It's good. Sorry.
Yeah, I prefer the original one.
I prefer the original, but it's giving exposure, isn't it? That's what it's about for me. It's exposure. It's a different market.
Anything that flipping Ed Sheeran touches is gonna make a million.
Make money.
Yeah, listen, do you know what shocked me? Yeah, and Bernard, as a fan of Ed Sheeran, this probably wouldn't have shocked you, but this shocked me. I've never seen Ed Sheeran live. Actually, tell a lie. I did see him live for the Olympics. He came out with Devlin. And they had that song Watchtower together, and I seen him then. That was the first ever time I was introduced to Ed Sheeran, right? I didn't realize he performed. His concert is him,
and
the guitar and the foot pedal.
Yeah. The whole thing.
Might have a little piano and a snare, bro, and he's making the song on the stage.
Bro, do you know what's crazy is that the venues that he's sending out, the arenas that this guy's doing.
Yep.
This guy did Wembley Stadium, the actual stadium. You know how big Wembley Stadium is? It was just him, no dancers. Right now, like you see, like if you had if someone was to give me a budget for like Wembley, I'll be thinking pyrotechnics, backup dancers. I'll be thinking I'll be thinking, hey, I might not even be there. You're right. I might even do a big hologram. Like Astro World. Like when on Fortnite when it was like massive and that. Something like that.
Dancers,
to fill the stage. But it's just him. And Ed Sheeran's not like, he's not like a big guy in it. Like he's like a small ginger guy with like an acoustic guitar and a foot pedal, just giving it. I have to give him that's props, boy, because I didn't realize that. Like I said, there's someone who's not I'm a fan of his music, but I wouldn't follow him.
Yeah, cool. I know what you mean.
But I didn't know that about him, and I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's mental. You have to give him props for it, though, isn't it? That's probably why he's number one, I suppose.
Anything. Him and Adele, number one. Could you imagine if him and Adele made an album together? That'd be number one.
Allow it, man. That's monopoly, man. They can't do that.
Yeah, no, you just see people that all the record labels will come together and like veto it. They'll be like, "No, this can never see the light."
Yeah, and if that'd
be number one. And listen, and you know what the worst thing about it is that they'd probably have a Beyonce feature on there, and that would shut it down. That'd be game set match. That song would be number one till we die. And that'll be like number, like no other song will ever see number one if Beyonce, Adele, and Ed Sheeran did like a ballad. Every wedding would have that song, guaranteed.
Maybe even Mariah Carey would be on the album, bro.
No, Mariah Carey, she's frozen. She's frozen until November.
The Christmas edition, bro.
Yeah, Christmas should be like, come on, let's try it.
Get her out the freezer. In November, she's defrosted by December.
She's defrosted, ready to collect that check. Her and Michael Bublé just standing outside their record label, collecting big checks.
Where's the dividends? Where's my dividends?
When was the last time Mariah Carey even sang?
She doesn't need to.
She doesn't need to. All I want for Christmas is check. Thank you. I'll take that.
Whoever produced that beat as well, they're laughing as well, man.
Yeah.
Bro, producers weren't getting the same cuts as they were back away.
No, but whatever the percent is, he's getting it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's true. His kids. I'm signing that song.
1% of that song.
Bro, Michael Bublé did a whole Vegas, what was it, 20 weeks in Vegas, just singing his Christmas songs.
20 weeks.
That's 20 weeks in Vegas on the Vegas Strip singing Christmas songs.
Yeah, you must have paid them a lot of money.
It wasn't even Christmas.
It wasn't even fucking Christmas, bro. It's the middle of the year, bro. It's the middle of the year. I'm telling you.
What?
Listen, the Vegas, in terms of like when you get like, that's why Adele said she's not touring, in it. She's just doing her she's gonna have like a staple at Vegas. But like the money that the commission, like the Nevada commission, would have paid her, stupid money. Like she might not even have to make another album.
Never.
Like the money that they're paid, like the money they pay people to have, like look at that group, that Cirque du Soleil people.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them, like them acrobats? That
probably.
Yeah, that they were on Britain's Got Talent, and then they had like a Vegas, like they had like a year, like where they were on the Vegas Strip. So like, if you ever go to Vegas, like whatever hotel you stay at, there's like reps who like try and sell you tickets to stuff on the Strip. So there might be like, there's certain shows or whatever. And Cirque du Soleil were there for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And the whole, like now their whole team is just like, we don't really have to perform anymore because that paid,
made the bread.
that's a check. That's a serious check that they can. Life changing.
What's the capacity of the place like? What's the hold?
Pardon?
Like in Vegas where they perform. How many people can go?
I think it's like there's some venues that are like 30,000. There's some venues that are like 20,000. So it's kind of like
for their one for the year and a half that they did. Like
I think it was 30,000. I think they had a 30,000 capacity.
That's great. And what every day, like, or every week?
30 is a lot. So.
I think it works out. So I think it's I know it's every weekend. So it's every weekend for sure. But there's also like during peak season, so like holiday shows, it's every day.
Your body must be mashed up, bro. You're just spinning your belly button on a spear, bro, for a year and a half.
Bro, I'll be tired. You know
fucked.
I'll be sleep, mate. You know, sleep, mate. The sleep that guy had, that's the sleep that I would have after doing a year and a half non-stop performing.
Of backflips for a year and a half.
Backflips and jumping through fiery hoops.
It would be tired, man.
Oh shit. That's fucked. Oh, the previous question. My album of 2021 went to Dave. I think the album.
Tomatoes.
We're all alone together. Nah, that's a good album. We're all alone.
It's a good album. It's a good album. I'm just salty because he won the Bobo and Gets didn't. But it's a very good album.
He was always gonna win it, man. Yeah. Talk about Dave, bro.
Listen, like I said, I'm being salty. It's an exceptional album. It's a super exceptional album. As like from a fan point of view, obviously I would have liked to get to win it, but as like an artist, I can super appreciate the album, like 100%.
As a piece of work, like musically, like just the journey it takes you through, I think he improved. Like he's actually, I didn't think his ceiling was as big as it is. But like I was like, oh, he's just a punchline guy. Like, but like he hasn't run out yet, so I don't know. We'll see. And who I think is gonna have a big year next year, I think is Potter Paper, because I think like we all know he's talented, but I think he's more talented than everyone realizes. And the type of music he's gonna put out, like I think it's gonna be wild. I think it's gonna be so good.
If he could, like I say, obviously, inshallah, he stays out of jail and everything.
That's his biggest challenge.
His biggest challenge, he would have been. I think we would have been. Remember, he was in that cypher that blew Stormzy.
Yeah. Him, Stormzy, and Jay House were coming up at the same time.
They were all coming up at the same time. But remember, Potter Paper was in and out of bin. If he'd have stayed out, who knows? Yeah. Although Huss is an anomaly, innit? Huss is just...
Yeah, Huss is a cheat code, man.
Anything he touches is just... I don't get it, but... Yeah.
It's Juju, innit? Juju.
Yeah,
Guy T-Cobbs.
Man was Potter Training Day 3, man.
That's a big project.
For me. Listen, for me personally, yeah, like the way I've rinsed out 1 and 2, and then when he came back, done the little 5 EP, dropped that. Then after he'd done the Training Day 3 project, it was beautiful, man. Like the whole, bro, like for me personally, Potter's like album was like his EP. I think that's what it calls it, but I see it as an album for the year, man. And the most disappointing person for me, disappointing. So many disappointments.
Sound like a teacher.
So many disappointments. He's the worst. Who can I give it to? I'd say Digga D, but I'm not too sure if I'll give it to him because he's still young. I'll give it to Digga D, man. I was impressed too.
For you guys, what counts as disappointment? Just lack of music, or just the music they put out is rubbish? Or...
Just what I expected from him. I was expecting a lot of gas from Digga D in it.
You expected something, and then it didn't get it.
Yeah, it didn't deliver. Yeah,
it didn't live up to it. Like I agree actually. Digga, yeah, maybe more so than Skepta actually. Digga D's a really good shout. Like I said, we obviously got loads of like raw Digga D before, and I was like, okay, here we go. And that obviously out of jail, and he'd beat the whole like what do you call it, the restriction on his music, innit?
Yeah.
Which is, for me, I've never seen an artist overcome a restriction like that. Like how strong his one was. I don't know if you knew about it, Bernard. So Digga D had a restriction. So when he came out of jail, Trident had said he's not allowed to make certain types of music. He's not allowed to say certain words. He's not allowed to associate with certain people. So the music they had to make had to be very censored, and he had to be very clever about it when he first came out of jail.
Right. So he had like a censor on it, like basically.
Yeah. So it was really difficult, but the music that he gave us from that was like unreal.
Yeah, it was just
so basically, he adapted and overcome, innit?
Yeah, and everyone was like, that's crazy, like he's overcome that. So then when they took that off, we was like, oh, he's gonna go crazy now, like he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
True. What did he end up just doing the same thing, or?
He done a remix of an old school that fashion outside Digga. No,
that song, that Wasted song was maybe the worst song.
I like
that. Was
you didn't like
you
it.
Didn't. MK, no, you didn't. You didn't like.
You didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
Man said my dad's from
it.
East. That makes me a real fucking geezer.
The intro is
get me a fucking Stella. Yeah. I loved it, bro.
No, you didn't, man. It was nostalgic. Like I said, the sample,
it was more
the sample, like the sample was crazy because it was that beat, that it was just super nostalgic. What was it? H2O. Passion fruit, fruit. That was the nostalgia. But really and truly, you didn't love the song.
It was a gym song for me. I was like, what, a new PB today? Yeah, put Wasted on.
Yeah, but the thing is, because at the beginning, when he's like, my dad's from East, that makes you real.
I was getting
you. But I can only think of the first 4 bars.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the song falls off. I was so disappointed. Like you just like that was really hard in terms of, as a fan of Digga D, to hear him make that kind of music. Especially when he didn't have the restriction. If he made that song when he had the restriction, it's like, okay, I get it. That makes sense because he's restricted. He's trying to appeal to a different audience. But
I hear it though. Obviously, he's trying to expand, trying to go more commercial. I get it. It hurts me, innit? Every time, like my greasy rappers always do this to me.
No, 360. But here, look, it's 360. We're talking about garage. I judge people. Listen, if you're going to use a garage sample, you've got to come correct. Look at AJ Tracey. Every garage song he's dropped has been good. Like there's no question about it. other artists have come out and tried to do garage and it ain't worked. And yeah, man, he just Digga D tried to come out and do his own thing and it just didn't work, man.
Yeah, but I think Shabo next year is gonna have a good year. I love the project.
That's
Shabo's project really good.
Do you know what ties on to our last topic,
Shabo.
which is it ties on to the last topic. So I'm glad you said Shabo. Women of the scene. So I think 2022 is the year of the woman. I think a lot of women. I think the front runners of next year are going to be women. Bernard's obviously. Bernard, you have worked with some of the women in the Irish scene. 18. Yeah. Who else was on that song as well? Remind me.
Shemaine, yeah.
Sure. How is there any women in the Irish scene that we need to listen to and pay attention?
There's a few women that are doing things that Melanin T, I don't know if you heard of her. She's
that new song, that she's got is a bop.
That new song. Definitely.
That's a bop. Like
Jasmine from PCM.
Okay.
She's number one in the Billboard charts at the minute, in all the charts. Like, she's over Drive and everything. Well, her and Bizet and stuff for that house song.
Oh wow! Okay.
You make me feel good. You make me feel nice. You give me.
Yeah. No, listen. You know, and now that you've sung the melody, I've heard the song, but I never. Was she from Ireland? I didn't know.
She's from around the corner from me, bro.
No, Jesus! No, take the phone, knock on the door, get her on the pod.
No, there's a few girls. Yeah, there's definitely a shortage, to be honest, of girls in the scene. And there's definitely I don't know, bro. There's a lot of young fellas. There's a lot of lads on the scene, but there's not that there's not a lot of girls. There's still a lot of girls doing the thing on the scene, but compared, like, you know, that kind of way.
Do you think women get the same opportunity?
I don't know.
In Ireland,
it's not that. I just don't think that the Irish women. I just don't think that some of them are like they're not into it. Like, do you know, that kind of way for themselves. Like, you don't really come across a girl in Ireland that's. Like, you do come across them, of course, but it's rare you come across a girl that like can start rapping to you. Like, you're thinking, what? You know, it's not. I don't think the scene's there yet. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I think.
I wish that's what I'm saying. I wish there was more girls on the scene. I wish there was a lot more girls. Like, I want a girl to just come out and do a mad drill thing, like, and shock everybody, like, completely, like fuck up the whole thing, like.
I think Melanin T, that new song, Clap and Shake, that song is, listen, there's very few songs here that give you that, in terms of, especially from this part of the world. Obviously, America's always had that kind of music on Smash, especially from women. But like the music, I call it, is like bad B music, like the kind of music when they're in the club, like they know they know the song word for word. Like, they look at their mates and they're synchronized. They're singing the lyrics, and the hook is catchy, comes with a dance, and obviously, like, she's shaking bum, and that's what people like in it. So, and fair play to her. Like, she's doing her own thing. Like, she's carving her own lane in a scene that is heavy, like you said, heavily male dominated. So, big up her, man.
Definitely, she's doing things. There's a lot of vocalists. There's a lot of great female vocalists as well.
Yeah. Shout out Nikki Mack as well. She's doing her thing from up.
Yeah,
she's
in a while, actually.
Yeah, no, it's like
a video, didn't she? In there.
Yeah, there we go. She dropped. Yeah. There he goes. The North is coming, man. Don't worry about it. Dublin have got the monopoly at the minute, but the North is coming, man. We're coming big, man. I don't think. Someone asked me, is it going to be me? Like that was a good question. Someone asked me. Someone was like, "Do you think you'll be the front runner for or one of the front runners from the North?" And I said, "Nah, I don't think it's going to be me. I think my accent kind of. I think people want, if they want someone to attach to, they want someone who sounds like them. That's why I think Hyphen's going to be. I think Hyphen's going to be.
Well, I don't know. Like, yeah. Oh, Hyphen, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think he's so cold. But Yeah, man. Listen, it's good to have you on the pod, man. You are a friend of the pod now. Officially, you've been on here twice, so you're welcome back anytime. Anything you've got to promote or anything, make sure you shout us and we'll get you on here for sure.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure having you.
bro.
Tell us, man. It's your time, man. You're the star boy. You're the star boy at the moment.
What's
Like I
your
say,
app?
chart success, big music,
Yeah, man.
classy videos. Like I said, anyone who's not listening, everyone who's listening to the audio, pause it, go listen to Smoke and Mirrors. We are going to this week's playlist, additions to the playlist will be Bernard. We're not going to accept any submissions on the up and coming. It's all going to be Bernard this week, and he will be the face. You're going to be the first face of the up and coming playlist. So we haven't had a face on the playlist yet. So this week you are going to when this drops, you'll be the face of the playlist. So
I appreciate that, big time, bro.
But yeah, man, talk to us, man. What you got coming? Tell us, man.
Well, there's a few things, man, of projects coming out of my ears. Like videos, I can't wait to release some videos. I've got the meaning. I've got a nice video coming for that. The project, the next song, I could give you a little listen if you want to the next track.
Yeah, actually save it. Don't play it now. Give me the clip and I'm gonna attach it to the end. It's gonna be exclusive for all of our. Yeah, it's gonna be exclusive for all of our audio listeners, our YouTube listeners. You lot ain't subscribing, so you lot ain't getting it. You know what I mean?
That's it,
start subscribing. Start subscribing on YouTube, you motherfuckers, and we start doing exclusive shit. You know what I mean? Like
definitely.
Audio, we're killing it, and then they're not subscribing to the thing on YouTube. So you lot start subscribing.
Do you know why? It's because of what you're saying about you know who. They can't see in it. They're legally blind.
You fool. But yeah, in terms of us as a podcast, we've got a lot of things coming, a lot more guests. Few people we want on the pod. It's gonna be a special, and at the end of the month, you lot called for it. You was dying for it. You begging for it. So us as the GDS podcast, we are all going to be together, and we are going to do a live recording of us again. Finally, all of us in the same room. No more Zoom. COVID can smoke crack for all I care. It's gonna be us. Hopefully, we can get all 5 of us. I don't know if our audio and visual listeners have seen that Hefe and Major have been absent since the turn of the year.
Freedom.
Yeah, they're busy people, man. But we, like I say, hopefully all 5 of us can get and we can match the energy of our super special 10,000 listened to episode, which was all 5 of us in the same room, absolutely flying. It's our most viewed episode. You know what our second is, Bernard?
What?
Yeah.
The comics one of last year. Our second highest viewed one is the comic one. So you always gonna come back anyway. Mutually beneficial, man. Mutually beneficial. So, but yeah, man. It's been a pleasure having you on. Boys, you got anything you want to add or drop?
No, man.
Just keep going, keep pushing.
Just keep pushing, man.
Keep up the work rate.
We're gonna check back. We're gonna check back with everyone in a year.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep you accountable this year. I'm telling you. Don't think you can slack off. I'm watching everyone.
I even mentioned it. Yeah. I mentioned it. Last time he came, he was like in January. He's got a few things coming up and stuff. And
listen, this is the Star Boy, man.
Bernard's been on top of it.
Bernard, tell us how much you charge for a verse. How much? What's the money like that?
I'm not gonna. I charge for other things. I'm not gonna charge for a verse. I won't do it if I don't want to do it. That's it.
Oh, there you go. So he's letting people know now. Listen,
I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I think give me 7. I wouldn't want to charge, but if I'm not there, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it. Same as everyone.
When he gets his manager, it's gonna change. He'll be like, speak to
me. Yeah, when management start telling him when managers start sending him here, you have to start charging.
Yeah, it could be sooner than you think, bro. To be honest, but we're saying
listen, 6-figure verses. I better get my verse in now, boys. I better get my verse in now before we start charging, boys.
Damn.
We're in big trouble here. But now it's a pleasure as always.
It was a pleasure to have us. It was a pleasure to be on, bro. Thanks for having us on. To everyone.
No worries.
He's a
Whereas
legend.
No problem, bro.
we have been the GDS
That's all
podcast.
love.
Over and out. Peace and love, guys.
Wow.
Peace and love.
Peace.
Out.
Love.
Yeah.